Great. So, Becca, I know you've been really following the Real Housewives of Rhode Island since the announcement earlier this year. We just got the trailer dropped today during BravoCon. What was your initial reaction seeing it?
Okay, it felt like New Year's Eve. It feels like the big game. It feels like my birthday all in one. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm from Rhode Island and I'm dramatic, just like the Housewives are. I thought that was a 10 out of a 10 trailer. I'm a huge Bravo fan, and obviously, I'm from Rhode Island, so I loved it. Seven Real Housewives, that's a lot for a first season and for a new cast. So I'm excited to see what they have to bring. But they made Rhode Island look, I mean, visually, it was beautiful. And clearly, going back to the D word, they're bringing the drama.
Yeah. I was curious now that we have confirmation about who these housewives are. There have been rumors swirling around for months, but now that we know officially these are the seven housewives, what are your thoughts on this cast?
So they actually brought in some familiar faces, not just from the Bravo franchise, but from reality TV in general. So Ashley Iaconetti first came on the scene. I think she's been in reality TV now for 10 years. You know her and her husband Jared from The Bachelor and Bachelor Nation. And also they brought along as a friend of, so not a main cast member, but Dolores Catania from Real Housewives of New Jersey. So they're already starting out with some familiar faces, which is not an advantage that most housewives, first time housewives cities or states get. So I'm excited about the cast. I love how Cranston, I think there's 4 out of the 7 are from Cranston. And I remember when I first was watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, the first couple seasons, I said, this is very Cranston coded. So I'm glad that this all came together.
I think some people may be surprised to see that, maybe thinking it was going to mostly be Newport or somewhere a little bit different. Were you surprised to see Cranston?
Not at all. Not at all. We're that's the core, that's the center of Rhode Island, in my opinion, anyway. A lot of the women from Newport, I don't really see them signing on for a show like this. I'll let you take that as you may, but I think that the Cranston women are well represented. We have Rula, who's from the northern part of the state, Rosie and Ashley, who are from the southern part of the state. So I think overall, Rhode Island is well represented.
You mentioned just visually, we got to see a lot of Rhode Island, especially Rhode Island during the summer. What do you think? How do you think the show is going to reflect upon the state as people who maybe have never been here are watching this?
Sure. I remember the comment section lost their mind when they filmed at Goddard Park. But as you can tell, I think one of the scenes was filmed at Goddard Park and they made it look like a tropical paradise. So through the magic, and Goddard Park is very pretty on its own, but through the magic of television, I mean, even the opening scene of what I think is either Newport or Westerly or somewhere with a lot of mansions, it looked, even to us, very Rhode Island. I love that we kind of get a little bit of a behind the scenes look, knowing where some of these places are and how they're reflected on TV. But it's a lot. It was so much fun to watch that trailer. I watched it maybe 500 times.
Had you been waiting all weekend for this to come out? I think a lot of people were expecting or hoping that during BravoCon weekend it might be released.
I keep saying on 92 Pro FM and on my podcast, Real Talk Roadie, all signs were pointing to BravoCon. Then, as we were getting closer, rumors were coming out that the women in the cast were not flying out to Las Vegas, which was disappointing for me. But I like that our first look is through the trailer and not so much the women on stage. Because the Bravo community, the Bravo fandom, they go off of first impressions real quick. So I think it's better that we saw them in a sort of edited trailer form rather than right out there on stage when they haven't even really had interviews yet, haven't gone on Watch What Happens Live yet with Andy Cohen. So I think that this was done in just the, and I love that it was done on Sunday. In Rhode Island, we love a Sunday dinner, and this feels like we were well fed today.
When the show comes out sometime in 2026, what are the things you're going to be looking for as you're watching?
I think it's more, I love watching reality TV for background. I love seeing how people interact and the sort of, I love the drama, obviously, at the forefront, but I also love to see how the extras behave as well. And I can't wait to see. a cousin's brother and they are like a, somebody related to me or somebody related to somebody I know. I mean, they were already talking about that sort of theme in the trailer. I'm looking forward to some of the rumors we heard about where they're filming, what kind of drama was happening, the things that we were sort of being DM'd about, and seeing if it makes the final cut.
Now that the trailer's been out for 2.5 hours today, there's already some people in the comments who are a little bit frustrated with perhaps how Rhode Island or Rhode Islanders are being portrayed. Do you expect just around town locally this is going to have a lot of mixed reviews?
You know what's funny? I truly thought it would be way more negative. What I have been seeing, not just in my own comment section, but others, seems to be, I would say, more positive than when the initial news came out. And I think
Mhm.
that trailer did win over some of those naysayers. And I look forward to more of that when it finally premieres. I mean, here's what's funny about this. The Bravo pages are losing their mind over it. They're obsessed. They're already picking their favorites. There's already fan pages for some of the women who aren't even introduced fully yet. So I think that most of the hate, unfortunately, is going to come from inside of the state, from Rhode Island, and not so much from the Bravo fandom just yet.
Sounds good. Anything else you want to add as we're kind of looking forward to this and getting a further glimpse inside the Real Housewives of Rhode Island?
Sure. I love the accents because it's, when people from outside of Rhode Island watch it, you can't call it a Boston accent. You can't call it a New York or a New Jersey accent. It stands all on its own. I also, I really thought that the logo or the artwork was going to be an anchor. And I'm surprised that they went with a lighthouse. But is that a lighthouse right behind you right now? So maybe they were onto something with that. I don't know why that really stood out to me as, okay, I like that we went with lighthouse over anchor, but that doesn't mean that the anchor will be used in some other artwork or commercial use.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much, Bekah. I appreciate you taking the time. It's always great to talk to some Bravo fans when we get this news.
Thanks for having me.